There we go. Our mic's working today. Hi, everyone. What's up, everyone? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Let's do that one more time. Let's do that one more time. Yeah. We're starting to get everything lit back up here today. Happy Friday, friends. It is Friday, the 6th of March. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Corey Weathers. I am super excited to be here with you all. Yeah, friends? Yeah? I swear, it's been a crazy busy week, but we are live. We are here. We are excited to be with you. I have the privilege and pleasure of leading the developer relations team at Deepgram. Shout out to Deepgram. Where's my air horn? There we go. There we go. Yeah, at Deepgram, we are helping to make all things voice enabled, right? You're building your applications. We believe voice is the way you should be communicating with those applications. And so we give you a platform, an API, a set of services that you can use to bring voice as a first party citizen, as I like to say, into all of your applications. Yeah. So I'll tell you, we are here live. I usually do these streams on Friday mornings. It's a chance for me to connect with our customers, our developers, our partners, just a chance to really get to understand what folks are building. Get a chance to really understand what folks want from us. And so we do these streams every Friday morning. I'm doing them here. In a few weeks, we're going to start to light them up on the Deepgram channels. I'm really excited about that. And we're lighting up a couple more efforts to get more things out and in front of you all, our amazing community of folks who are just curious and want to know what we're doing or how to do and all the things. Yeah. So I'm super excited about that. Yeah. Let's cheer for that. The other thing I got to mention is, so I shared this last week. I'm going to share it again this week. We are live on a couple of places. We're live on LinkedIn. Shout out to our friends watching on LinkedIn. We're live on YouTube. Shout out to our folks watching on YouTube, and we are live on Twitch, twitch.tv/Corey L. Weathers. I'm really excited. I've been trying to, every time I try to get the X connection set up so we can go live on Twitter, something fails. Sure enough, I tried to do it this morning, something failed. I have no idea. Like I'm really believing it's a personal issue now. But when we light the stream back up, I will be for sure getting us back over on Twitter. So I'm excited about that. And I mentioned when we light the stream back up. So we've been live now a couple of weeks. We will be live today. I'm only going to the top of the hour today because I've got, I have 30 minutes free before I have like back-to-back meetings today. And we have a couple of candidate interviews. So today is a really busy day because next week, I'm actually going to be at a conference. So I may get home in time to light the stream next week, but we'll see. So we're live today. We're going to the top of the hour. Next week, we are headed out to a conference. I'll be speaking at the HIMSS conference out in Las Vegas. I'll also be popping by a couple of other conferences. I'm very excited about that. In fact, we'll talk a little bit about those before we kick today off. Yeah. Let me take a moment and give a bit of acknowledgement. If this is your first time joining, please don't be shy. Definitely drop into the comments and say hi. I'd love to hear from you. Our friend Jason, shout out to my good friend Jason Wallace. Welcome to the stream. Jason and I go back a ways, significantly long, and so it's good to see you join us here on a Friday morning. But you too can hop into the chat and say hi. Sometimes I pull the chat up on screen. I won't do it today. Sometimes I pull the chat up on screen and it turns into a really fun experience. Okay, so let me get into a couple of things. Here's how today's gonna work. Okay, just so we're all clear. I'm gonna do some things to pay some bills. the first thing we have to do is make sure that we shout out our job opening, right? We have a bunch of roles open at Deepgram, and I happen to have one of them. So I want to talk a little bit about that role. I've had a number of people reach out to me about it. I'm literally, like, folks will tell you, I've been in LinkedIn messages responding all week. We've been reviewing resumes all week. There's a couple of things. So we're going to talk about that. That's one. Number two, we're going to talk about the Deepgram changelog. So a lot of folks, when we started doing the streams again, folks said, hey, like, what is Deepgram? Or, hey, what has Deepgram been up to? Or, hey, how do I get started? So we're going to try to answer those questions through these streams. So this morning, I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking through the changelog. There's some updates that we've got. I want to make sure we share those and we get that out there. My team, later today, my team has a special announcement. It's coming. I'm not going to ruin it. I am not going to ruin it. My team's been up to some amazing things. We've been talking about it. I posted a little bit last week on LinkedIn and on X about it. And so my team has a fun thing that we're releasing later today as well. I'm not going to spoil it, but I'm very excited for it. I'm really, really, really excited. And shout out to my fantastic developer relations team, who've been really, like, we've been churning through a backlog, but we've been getting it done. So I'm really proud of the team. And then if we can get all of that done, because that in itself could take an hour, I'm going to spend a bit of time today actually doing a code review. I'm not going to write as much code today. And some of y'all may be kind of feeling the ways. Yeah, I know. Some of y'all may be feeling the ways about that. But we are not. So here's the deal. I was working on an app. I still want to finish it because I actually want to write a blog post about it. But I could have Copilot fix it for me, but I really want to figure out, because I broke something. I have no idea what I broke, but I want to figure out why I broke it. So we're going to do a code review today here live on stream, and we're going to do that to end the hour. So I'm excited. I'm excited to get into it. I'm excited to kick this thing off. It's 10 minutes, or I guess 8 minutes past the hour. Let's just get into it. So let me take care of something behind the scenes here. Let me pull up the first thing, which is, I said we're going to talk about this job application. So I said this to a couple of people, and folks may not realize it, but we are hiring at Deepgram. Let me see if I can find the link for y'all. I have it, I think. I do. Yes. There we go. We're hiring at Deepgram. The long story short is Deepgram has been in a period of unprecedented growth and doing all things voice AI. I mean, you see what's happening in the AI industry. There's so much going on. And so we've just as I joined in January, we announced that we'd closed the Series C funding round, right? Which is incredible. So there we go. That's our achievement. Yeah. We closed the Series C funding round. I want to say January 12th is when I joined. So it was around about then that we made the announcement. It was the same week. And with that, there's a bunch of stuff that we've been doing to, like, ramp up for the unprecedented growth, both that we've seen and that we're going for. And so as I came in to lead our developer relations team, and we've been working through sort of where that team should be focused, there is a part of my team that absolutely needs some support, and it is the advocacy arm of our team, where you see folks like me, right? Where I'm building in public, I'm connecting with developers, I've been sending messages all week, we've been capturing feedback, we've been driving conversation, we've been doing a bunch of things. We have just added one person to the team to join our developer experience side, our DX side. And actually, that person's just shown up on Twitch. It's good to see you, Greg. Greg will be starting with us very soon. I'm incredibly excited. I have seen some of the fantastic things that Greg has put together prior to joining Deepgram. His passion and enthusiasm for what we can do to better equip and serve developers is fantastic. So I'm really excited for Greg to get started. And so we've got a couple folks working on our DX side. We're now building up the advocacy side, right? And so we're hiring a staff developer advocate. This is a role that is one that I believe, I have the description up here, but it's one that's incredibly important to the team. It's incredibly important to the company. We're putting that role in San Francisco very explicitly, and I'm saying this loud, right? Like someone clip this because one of the I just said this actually inside the team. One of the first questions I always get is, do you need to be based in the US for this specific role? Deepgram is very much a remote first company, right? Let me be really clear about that. We do not have a return to office policy thing going on at all with this. None whatsoever. But this specific role is seated in San Francisco. We need someone on the ground in San Francisco, deep in community, deep in technology, deep in driving awareness and influence. And so this is a role that is one that, with the seniority that it has, there will be quite a bit of autonomy and flexibility in how the successful candidate does the role. I talked to a couple of people this week who I think could be really good matches. I have 2 more conversations today. Like, we're actively recruiting. I really, really, really want to see someone, the successful candidate, get into this role. Yeah. So I'm excited for that. Just a little bit about what the role is going to do. This role is very much a developer advocate, right? So I always say I like developers who advocate. I think anyone who's worked with me has heard this phrase more than enough times that they probably don't ever want to hear it again. But I really love developers who advocate. And actually, I'll point to Greg as an example. Greg is someone who I came to Deepgram in January. I became familiar with Greg's work and his passion for developers through the things that he built, right? And the ways in which he talked about it and the thinking behind how he thought about how it would help developers and the ways in which you could sort of see it fit into a developer's experience with Deepgram. We love developers who advocate for this, right? I need a developer who understands where the developer sentiment is going, where that pulse is going, just from both being a developer and connecting with other developers. So there is the shipping, sample code and putting content together around it. There is the, hey, if something doesn't quite smell right to you, like how do you raise that feedback and turn that into something that feels like the right thing for a developer and for Deepgram, right? There is the, and how do we put that out into the world, right? And so one of the things somebody else asked me this question, and I want to be really transparent about it. I don't, like, I'm not going to say you will or won't travel. You will probably travel in this role. I don't want someone who thinks that we're just going to be on planes. That's not how we do advocacy in 2026. That is absolutely the wrong way to think about this. This role, the successful candidate who gets this role, is someone who will be in in-person spaces, but we're going to balance that so that way we're doing what is in the best interest of Deepgram and what's in the best interest of them. So that's the role. I think we've got like years of experience and all of that. Like, look, this is the short version of this is if you're passionate about building with voice AI, if you're passionate about helping developers, if you've got some significant experience doing this, and if you're based in San Francisco, I want to talk to you. That's just the short version. Yeah. So I'm excited about that. I'm very, very, very excited about that. That's the role. Let me do something very quickly. I need to grab the link for this, and we're going to drop this in the chat. If you all have friends who you think would be a really good fit for it, feel free to send them the link. Also, feel free to connect them with me. Like, I'm accessible on LinkedIn and on the platforms. I just talked to someone actually on X who told me that they wanted to come work with us at the company. And we talked about some of where the team is going. And let me also share this last bit. And then we'll move on from this. I spent a lot of time talking about the fact that the role is in San Francisco. This is only one role. The entire team is not in San Francisco. This is just one role. I will have more roles coming where we're going to hire a few more developer advocates to join the team because we're building up the advocacy arm of our team. And so I say that to say, if this role isn't the right fit, but you still think you'd be interested in joining Deepgram in helping us shape and equip and empower developers to build the future of voice AI, let me know. Like, don't hesitate to reach out. I've talked to a lot of people this week as well about that as well. And in fact, next week, I have like 3 conversations. I have no idea what I'm actually doing, but let's just say I'm giving 2 talks, and then I have 3 conversations sprinkled throughout the week. And then I'm pretty sure I have something else going on where I'm talking to someone who's interested in coming on board. So, like, if you reach out to me, you can typically get me. I'm trying to do better about responding. And shout out to AI. It's been helping me. Yeah? Because people know I'm really hard to get sometimes. Oh, man. Okay. With that, let me also pull up something, because I was talking about next week. So let me pull one more thing up. And that'll help y'all understand a little bit of what I've been up to. Because it's been a really busy week over here. My goodness. Oh, yeah, there it goes. My events manager is going to be really upset with me. My events manager gave me something yesterday and was like, here, share this to tell the people that you're going to be at HIMSS. And I promise you, I forgot to grab it before we started the stream. She's going to be upset with me. But here's the story. So next week, I am doing a thing. And I'm just pulling it up in the background. Give me 1 second, because my computer's being slow. Because I think I'm doing too many things on it. 1 second. Okay, here we go. So Deepgram is typically out and about at a number of different conferences. If you have an event going on where you think it'd be great for us to be there, let me know. Don't hesitate to drop that on me. But Deepgram is going to be out at a number of conferences. We're always out and about around the world. Okay. And so one of the things that we've got going on just next week is we are going to be out in Las Vegas. This will be actually my first time going to a Deepgram sponsored event. So I'm really, really, really excited about that. Let me see if I can pull this up. Yeah, here it goes. Okay, I've got it. Finally. Jeez, it took forever. 1 second. Now I'm going to share my screen across. Okay, so LinkedIn's doing what it does. There we go. That's me. So I'm going to be out at HIMSS 26. I'm going to be doing a talk. I think I can say this out loud. We're doing the talk actually with AWS. So I'm really excited about that. But I'll be gracing the stage next Tuesday to have a conversation about Deepgram plus AWS SageMaker and how it enables people in the healthcare industry to build secure voice AI solutions. So I'll be doing that on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, I'm giving another talk, this time from the Dell perspective. We'll be doing it at the Dell booth Wednesday morning, or Wednesday afternoon. And then at some point, I'm sneaking over to Enterprise Connect to go see one of my colleagues speak with former colleagues. So Deepgram and Twilio are doing a talk. So next Wednesday, I'm just going to be all over Las Vegas. I think that's just the right way to say. Next Tuesday, Wednesday, final day Thursday, and then I'm coming back home. Yeah. So I'm excited. I'm excited about that. If you're going to be there, if you know folks who are going to be there, if you think it's important for folks to grab me, like, let me know, let them know. We can find ways to connect. I try to make myself pretty accessible when I'm out at conferences, because I think there's no better time to literally build connections with people. So I'm really excited for that. The team is going to be, I'm going to be there. The team is going to be at a hackathon, which I'm actually quite jealous. Their team, we're doing an internal hackathon next week. So I'm really, really, really excited to hear how that goes when I get back. I've been helping to do some of the planning there. So I'm really, really, really excited. But yeah, as you see, we're like busy. We are booked and busy. My God. So I say that to say, we will likely, I don't think, like, I want to say I get home at either 8 or 10 a.m. on Friday, something crazy like this, because I fly overnight because I have to get back here to the East Coast. So It's going to be quite a busy week. Unfortunately, we won't stream next Friday, but for the week after, I'm working now to try to get us lit up on the Deepgram channel. So I want to start to introduce a couple of bits of opportunities for you all to connect with us. So stay tuned. When we have more to share, we'll make sure to share that on the Deepgram social handles. Yeah. Hey, what happened to my clap? Okay, that takes care of that. Whew, now that was all a mouthful. My goodness. We're just 20 minutes into the hour. So now we can start actually talking about product. Are y'all ready? Are y'all ready to actually like start digging into things? Let me share something. Let me close some links. And let's get into it. Okay. So here's the deal. I'm going to start first with what is the Deepgram changelog. Now, I don't know how many folks know this. Deepgram, like many companies, we're a SaaS platform. We have a changelog. I'm going to share the link just here in chat as well if you want to follow along. I'm not going to go too deep, but I think it's really cool to see this. There's a couple of things that actually got updated yesterday, so I just wanted to make sure I gave it some space in case folks wanted to watch and ask any questions or use it to raise any things that's of interest to them, I should say. First is obviously all things pricing, right? For our pay-as-you-go and growth customers. I kind of like this, right? It gives folks the ability to sort of opt in themselves instead of having to talk to someone, instead of having to ask questions. I quite love this. And it allows them to do this with no impact on their rates. So shout out to the change that our teams have made to that. I think it's better for self-service. Way to go, right? Second is around all things self-hosted. Now, I don't know how many folks realize this. I've not played with it myself yet. I've not been at the company long enough, but you can self-host Deepgram inside of your own infrastructure. Like you may have a need to host it in your own corporate environment, whatever that may need to look like. And if you look at the history on the right side, you'll see this is self-hosted update for March. We've got one from Feb, and then there's one. Oh, you can't see that because my head's in the way. So let me move my head out of the way so you can see. Yeah, there we go. But there are a bunch more, right, from January. So every month we've got a self-hosted release. And what I think is really cool is you can go back and go take a look at what's included. And we release them as container images. So I think that makes life really, really, really easy for folks, right? If you run into a scenario, you want to test it out in a test environment or a canary environment, here we go. You literally download the latest container image and you're good to go. But what's included in this release is actually really cool. One is what's called Flux Dynamic Configuration, right? So Flux now supports a configure control message for dynamic midstream config. So let's say, so take a step back. Do you know what Flux is? Let's not assume. Right? Do y'all know what Flux is? So let me go get a product page for you. Hold on one second. And I'm gonna slightly switch screens because there's stuff in my browser history that I don't want y'all to see. Because I was doing some stuff that would, well, it's not bad stuff, but it's some stuff. And I didn't clear it before we started the stream. So let me go pull up the Flux product page. And I should pull up the playground. So let me do that too. Okay, here we go. Okay. And you're probably not going to hear it because when I went to go set up our browser to go work, it did not do what it was supposed to do. It's a long story. I'm not going to get into it. Okay, so there's this, and then there's this, and then there's this. Okay, flux.deepgram.com. Here it goes. Okay, and then I want to bring this in. Okay. So I don't like making assumptions, right? I want to make sure we sort of start at the top. Deepgram has had a number of models for voice AI for a long time, a number of models and a number of products, right? Speech to text, text to speech, and the models that power them underneath. And so as we've evolved over the years and continue to iterate and update our models, we've now gotten to a spot where we have a fantastic conversational model for things that you would just expect from voice models today. And that for us is Flux. It is our latest gen conversational speech model. And I'm very excited about this. Our code sample that we've been building for the past few weeks is actually built on Flux. Actually, no, I think I changed it last week to Nova 3. Anyways, yeah. So I say that to say there's a lot you can do with it. This is just one of our blog posts that explains the what, the why, and some of the how, right? So explains sort of what it is and the problem behind the why. And one of the things that I love, and it's funny, I just reached out to a developer about this morning. It's 9:30. You'd think it was like half day the number of messages I've sent to people. But one of the things that folks really start to understand is when you start to build speech, right, or force speech, there are a number of things that come up. One of them is like end of turn, right? Like, how do I detect that someone has stopped speaking, right? And so this is a really, really good example, right, where it says we've got native turn detection. So that way, we're not in a spot where someone says, and then they pause, and then the model thinks they've just stopped. Like the model can recognize that they've continued, or can also acknowledge when someone else has come in and separate that in the transcript, which is really cool. It's really powerful. There is a lot. Look, right? Like we are incredibly accurate. We are incredibly accurate. Right. And this is, you see this here in the word error rate. Like we are incredibly accurate. If you look at Flux and you look at how Flux is performing, it's doing incredibly well for our latest and greatest. We've got some benchmarks in here if you care enough about it. But the other side to this is if you are interested in trying this out, let me drop this link on y'all in chat, flux.deepgram.com. Right. And one of the things, so I'm going to say this, Greg doesn't know that I'm going to say this, but I'm going to say this. Greg has been working on something that, I won't share it, but if you wanted to say play around with different Deepgram models and then see the code connected to the things you've been doing to play. Greg's been working on something. When he's like, and he's just been doing this, but when he starts, we're going to figure out how we get this out within 4 developers. I'm very, very, very excited. But I say this to say lots of goodness there in the Flux product line, right? And now we've set it up so that you can do dynamic configuration after things have already started. You've established a connection, you've got things going already in a session, and now we need to change the configuration. Well, now you can update that. So that's really, really cool. Really, really, really cool. Yeah. The second is Nova 3. So I talked about Flux being our latest model, but we have additional models running behind the scenes in what is called Nova 2 and Nova 3. I've not seen Nova 1, and it probably predates my time. Nova 3, incredible accuracy. And so we've just announced that Nova 3 has increased its right to left language support. Now Nova 3 supports Arabic, Hebrew, Farsi, and Urdu. So congrats to the fantastic team there. Congrats. That is amazing. Absolutely fantastic. This is one of those things where you start to really get into the nuance of what it means to build for voice AI. It's not like most people think about English, or they think about the language that they speak in, and then that becomes the baseline for how they assess these things. And so, if we're going to get into into new opportunities, and we're going to start to look at new possibilities, you've got to expand your language support. You know how many spoken languages there are in the world? My God. So yeah, amazing, amazing shouts to the team. Third is the multilingual model update, right? So this is truly like what I would call a quality update. Accuracy improvements across all supported languages with the largest gains in code switching. And I love this. For all of these, we've got announcements. Our smart formatting now recognizes dates, right? Abbreviated dates. Like we're doing some really cool things. Shout out to the team. Shout out to the team. My headphones are like super grainy today, so I can't really hear. So I'm hoping that the sound effects are not too loud, because the headphones are on, but I can't really hear. The other thing is the kids are home, so I have to keep the headphones kind of off so I can hear the kids in case of an emergency. And by the way, if you see me say, hey, I'll be right back, it's an emergency, it's because something happened to the children. Yeah. But yeah, so we've just had the changelog. Again, I shared that link. We'll probably do a video around this. I want to try to start getting like changelog videos out to our YouTube channel. So stay tuned. If you see me or others from the team on there, stay tuned. You may even hear my voice in the background, but not see me on screen. We're figuring that out. But yeah, so there's that. Let me go hit chat real quick. Our friend Napalm is joining from Twitch. Good to see you. We've got another friend. Sometimes the LinkedIn usernames don't come in, so I apologize for that. We got another person watching from LinkedIn. Welcome. Greg says, hey, if it's what I think you're talking about, and it is, I've been tweaking it and trying to massively improve performance, going from originally over a minute to getting it running down to about 3 seconds. Yeah, this is exactly what I'm talking about. And I don't want to spoil it. I really don't. I promise you. I really want y'all to experience the goodness, and I can't wait. I really cannot wait. One thing that we've been talking a lot about inside the company as well is Deepgram catching up. And what I mean when I say catching up is a lot of different companies, platform providers have been building different things for coding agents, AI skills, sub agents, particular prompts that we think make sense for when you're building with specific platforms. We've got work coming there as well. I promise you, we are doing some really, really, really good things, and we are just getting started. So I'm very excited. Yeah. Okay. So now we get to go do the code review. We've got, let me see, it's 27 minutes before the hour. We've got about, let's say 20-ish minutes. Okay. We got about 20-ish minutes. Because I have a very hard stop today, so that I can get ready actually for the full day that we've got. So let me share my screen across now. So I share. Let me just tell y'all a little bit about what this application is. I've been building this confessional app. I am, becoming a believer that voice should drive near everything we do when it comes to tech. I'm pretty convinced. I can see places where you may not want to use your voice to drive it, but when I think about how we connect and communicate separative devices, it starts with voice, it continues with hands, it is complete through nonverbal, that is with body language. And so once you add a device in there, all of a sudden all that changes to text, and I just think that's wrong. I just think it's fundamentally wrong. So I've been building this thing. Just because I was like, oh, I'd be curious to see how to do this, and it'll give me a chance to play with the platform. I've been building this thing to allow teams to do a confessional, right? You know how like on reality TV, you see like the confessional interviews and there's a producer and the producer asks questions. You don't know that the producer's there, but you just see people talking into the camera. I had this crazy thought. I was like, and this was when I found out that we were having a hackathon. I was like, hey, what if we did a confessional that was audio first and then turned that into a podcast at the end of the week, right? Like gave all of the confessions to Gemini and was like, hey, go generate a podcast for me. Be curious to see if this would work. I have no idea if this would actually work. But it'd be a way to relive and experience the hackathon, right? That doesn't require you to have to go do too much other than throw it on in the background. So I was like, oh, let me just see how far I can get in building this. And we started it with Microsoft, with GitHub Copilot. And sure enough, Copilot was rocking. You know, if you've watched for the past couple of weeks, Copilot was doing a really good job. And then I got in here and did something and I broke something. And I have I have no idea what I broke. I have no idea what I broke. So I was like, okay, let me try to debug this. And I couldn't figure it out. And then I said, well, I can have Copilot do it, but this would actually be a good exercise for me to like go get more familiar with my code base. So that's what we're going to do here for the next 20 odd minutes. I'm going to start and stop the app a couple of times. I'm going to do a little bit of rubber duck coding. We will, I have things checked into source control. So, you know, we at least have that. I don't think I synced it to GitHub yet. But whatever. But the short version on this is we're going to start it. We're going to see how it works. You won't be able to hear it because I did not set up the browser to come through the stream ahead of starting the stream because I was doing some stuff on my local machine. So I'll hear it, but you won't be able to. Okay. Let me just go see if this thing runs. Okay. Let's just do this. .NET build. And let's just see what happens. Heaven help us. Heaven help us. Okay, so now we're building this application. And I got one warning. That's fine. .NET run. I think no build. Because I just, hold on. Oh, wait, hold on. CD, source, / yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Okay. That's what I'm looking for. I'm going to go run it. Oh, crud. Dang it. Sorry. In order to run this, I have to run Docker. And Docker's not running on my machine. So let's go run Docker. Okay, the Docker daemon is up. Let's go click a link. Okay, here we go. So we've got a web. Oh, okay. So it's a confessional app, right? It just has a web application. It's a server-side application, and then we have a database, right, for persistence. And this that you see right here is .NET Aspire. Which I love. If folks have not gotten on the Aspire train, you're missing out. Okay, now let me see if this will work. Hold on 1 second.
Welcome to Confessional Booth. What's on your mind?
Okay, so that definitely should not have done that, but let's go see what comes out on the screen. Corey's gonna stop talking now. Wait a minute, it actually did pick me up. So when I tried to fix this during the week, it did not pick me up. Well, and now it's trying to be friendly with me because it's both responding to me. Like, can you see the responses? Look at this. Can you see the responses? It's very much saying, yeah, technology can be tricky. It's nice to see it's working. How do I feel? I feel great. Okay, so I am positively shocked. I just want to make sure y'all know this. The last time I tried to run this, it did not work. I promise you, I was like, what is going on? I don't know what I did. I have no idea. I was debugging, I was changing. I did not use Copilot to do any of the debugging. I'm positively in shock. And look, it thinks that Okay, so let me stop this. This just like changed the entire plan for the entire stream. This is crazy. I did not expect this to happen. I mean, this is like the best surprise, but I didn't expect, I thought it was not going to work. So here's what happened. I was debugging this thing because there were a couple of issues that were showing up in how the voice transcription was working. I still need to fix the agent voice, and that code itself lives here in our voice agent service. But I did not think that that was going to work. Like, now I got to figure out actually what I'm going to do, because this is fascinating. Okay, let me get myself oriented. So let me describe what the architecture of this application is, and then we're going to see what we can go do now, because this has changed everything. So one, the way that this application works is it's running on top of Blazor server. What that means is we have a bunch of UI that are what are called UI components, and you see those here, right? So when we load this component, the confessional booth, right? Then from there, and you'll see it sort of on the page itself, right? So there's the booth itself, and then we have the text down here, the transcript. And so the way that this works is once we start it up, we, behind the scenes, because I'm using .NET, we use a technology called SignalR. SignalR creates a hub between, which is just a connection between my client browser and my server side code, which is everything that you see right here. When it gets that data, it then takes that data and pushes it over to Deepgram. So let me see if I can show y'all an example. So every time I hit that on record click, right, based on the state of recording, it will start, stop, or resume, right? Like right now it's paused. If I go into start recording, it then does things to ensure that one, it can actually work, right? So all this code that you see right here is like, let's make sure that we can connect to the SignalR hub. Let's make sure that we have the right browser support. This is a state thing because it's a state machine. We'll talk about that later. And then we run a bunch of JavaScript, right? So this goes back and forth between JavaScript and .NET, but it's fine. This JavaScript code itself lives where? Where are you? Let me grab both of these and let me go to www.root. Nope, not that one. Let me go to audio.js. It lives in here. All right, so this is the function itself. Literally is the thing that grabs all of that audio and then sends it back to the .NET to then be able to send across to the browser. What is broken, and I don't think we'll have time to fix it this morning, is when the audio comes back from, like, so that the producer's speaking to you, that is very garbled. And I'm very sure it has something to do with this function right here, this play audio function right here. So I have to debug this. I can't do this on stream because it's I need to be able to hear it and y'all can't hear it. And so I do want to fix this. And I need to take a look at the documentation to make sure that we're doing this correctly, because I'm pretty sure that we're not. I just haven't figured out yet why. But there's that part. That's just the audio, which is all happening in real time. Then there's the transcript. And on the transcript, you'll see a couple of things. You see obviously like the order of things, and you see the screen browsing automatically. Then you see sort of who's speaking when, right? I had Copilot add that code in. Then you see a little bit of sentiment analysis, right? And the reason why I put the sentiment analysis in is because I want to be able to go back and see previous recordings and then be able to say, oh, let's grab some positive ones. Let's grab some concerning ones. And then, use a sequencing to then sort of figure out themes that people were talking to. But all of that is actually coming back from Deepgram. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Sentiment service. Yeah. So I have like a rough model in here that is just for me, but I want to take this code out and replace it, right? Like this is just code to like quickly sort of make a rough guess on how the sentiment is going. But I'm going to replace this code because we can get this from Deepgram. So I'm excited about that. The other thing that is not happening here, and I actually may get Copilot to go write this code right now. Let me see if I can do it. 1 second. Let me start Copilot. I was starting the code to go do persistence, which is why you see this. Because this was meant to be the thing that we use to persist our recordings. And you see all this code right here. But we did not finish it. So let me go see if I can fix this. 1 sec. Give me a plan and add it to the folder structure to persist recording data for us to execute at a future time. I want the persistence to be able to show a previous recording, but we don't want to edit, adjust that recording, just to be able to see it and metadata about it. If only I could spell. Yeah, this was something that I started getting into right before we got off stream last week. And then sure enough, we didn't finish it. So I want to make sure that we get that done. And I have Copilot working on that behind the scenes. So yeah, dang, that kind of threw me off. I thought I was going to be writing code this morning. And it turned out I'm not. I only got 5 minutes left though, so it's okay. I told y'all we're going to try to make these 2 hours long on Friday mornings so that we get more time. So it'll be Friday mornings at 9 a.m. starting not next Friday, but the Friday after. So not Friday the 13th, which is bad luck anyway. I love Friday the 13th, but it won't be Friday the 13th. It'll be Friday the 20th. So I'm excited about that. And then let's do that. Okay, so yeah, we'll start to do these for 2 hours on Friday, and then the other thing that we'll do is sorry, I'm answering questions from Copilot while I talk, which is terrible because Copilot's asking me a bunch of questions about how we want to persist this. Okay. Yeah, the other thing that we'll do is we're going to start putting some of this stuff over on the Deepgram channels. So one of the things I'm going to start doing is as we have things like these changelog updates, right? Like as we have these, I'm going to start to dig into like 1 or 2 of these live and in real time. Like for instance, flux dynamic configuration. This could be really interesting to show off live. So yeah, stay tuned. We got a lot coming. If you're not subscribed to the Deepgram channels, go follow Deepgram on social, on LinkedIn, on X, Deepgram AI on X, and then on YouTube. I'm not sure. Somebody asked me this, if we were going to start a Twitch channel. I'm not sure yet. I have not made a decision yet. But I'll make a decision really soon. I'm going to let this run in the background. I'm still very surprised that this worked. I have no idea what changed between then and now. I'm very sure. I feel like I must have written some code at some point and forgotten. because that was crazy. Let me go take a look at this plan. The confession DB entity already exists. Right. Yeah, because we started. It has all the needed fields. We've got to create some additional ones on history. So we need to create a history service. We need to create some new components, UI components. And then we have to update some existing files. I think I like this. Let's go build it. I'm going to build something similar to this for next week as well, while we're out. Just because I like to play with code. So we'll see what we can do while I'm out at the conference. While this is building in the background, I want to say a good hello to my good friend, RJ Pearson. Welcome to the stream, joining us from Twitch. Glad to have you, man. It's good to see you. It has been a while. It has indeed been a while. Good to see you, man. Oh, you know what? Let me stop the application. I just realized the application's running. We got 4 minutes left too. So I want to see if this can get done before the 4 minutes are up. Created the pages. Adding view history, fixing some CSS. I'm gonna be really honest. The thing I love the most about using agents to help me write code is that I don't have to write CSS. And my friend Anna was here last week, and Anna, who is absolutely a CSS like master, like brilliant at it, was like, dude, CSS doesn't deserve your shade. Like, come on. This is ridiculous. Go learn some CSS. But I really do not like writing it. I'm the worst. And now agents make that so much easier. Okay, sweet. Yeah, it's added it in there. So let me now go see how it looks. And I haven't given it much to go with. I really haven't added a lot, but this looks good. Let's go see what it looks like when we run it. Let's go see what this looks like when we run it. And let's go do, let's gonna do a build anyway, so that's fine. 9:53. Got 2 minutes left. 2 minutes left. 2 minutes left. Okay. That's running. That's running. I probably need to run some migrations at the very start, so we don't lose things, but that's fine. Yeah, see, now we have confessions. I like that. Back to booth. Okay, let me go see what this looks like. Now, again, y'all won't be able to hear this, so let's see. I'm going to be speaking just to make sure that we save something into the persistence layer of our application. I think so too. Let's see if you can figure this out while I interrupt you because you don't know what you want to say. We need a stop button. Where's the stop button? Okay, submit confession. New confessional. Review history. Hey, look at that. Look at that. We've got persistence. It's ugly, but it's there. It's ugly, but it's there. You know who I'm going to bug? We have a friend. We have a friend of the stream. I'm going to go talk to him. Actually, I just sent him a note. Our good friend Ed Charbonneau. I just talked to him. I just sent him a note this morning, and we talked like a week ago. I'm going to see if he has thoughts on how we can add progress into this and turn this into something. Oh, you know who else we can talk to? I have another friend of the stream I'm going to reach out to, who I think may be able to help. Yeah, let me not actually say their name, but I'm going to reach out to Ed. Ed, I think, would be happy because I look at this and I'm like, oh God, the UI on this is terrible. We should probably throw some UI controls on here, you know, and make this a really big thing. Anyways, okay, let me wrap this thing up because I gotta go. I gotta go be a DevRel leader for Deepgram. Okay, so today completely went the opposite of my plan. Let me just say, I did not expect things to work. I guess they work. Let's call that a achievement. I'm very, very, very excited about that. Here's the deal. I said it at the beginning. We're out next week. I'm going to Vegas, not for fun, well, for fun, yes, but to go work. I'll be speaking on 2 stages. I'll be stopping by a 3rd stage. I'm meeting with a couple of developers while I'm out there. If you all know folks who I should connect with, let me know. We've got the job opening. I shared the link to that. Let me see if I can find that link one more time. If you all know folks who would be a good fit to join the team out in San Francisco, I want to talk to them. If you all know folks who would be good to join the team, period, I want to talk to them. The other thing is, oh wait, why didn't that go through on Twitch? The other thing is, as soon as I'm going to probably make some progress on this app in the 2 weeks that we're off. When I do, we'll probably get a blog post and some social out. But the team has some exciting announcements coming. So be on the lookout. If you're following us on LinkedIn, X, and me on all of those places, be on the lookout. We've got some fun stuff coming today that I can't wait to share with you. With that, that's it. We're gonna wrap this thing up. I'm done. I promise you I'm done. I gotta go. So we'll be back in 2 weeks. Listen, it is your boy Corey L. Weather saying have a fantastic weekend. Have a great couple of weeks. Y'all be safe. Hug your friends, your loved ones, and I will see you soon. Ciao, friends.